It looks pretty good. All right, it's gonna go for tanks. It's gonna go for. It's gonna go for some boats behind. I'm gonna go for fangs. I wonder if the arc lights are too far back. Okay, he goes chaff. Pretty smart here. He knows what we'd like to do, and we also know what he's gonna do. I think we have to just make only Phoenix here. The Phantom Rays are going to be pretty useless, since he's probably not going to build that much chaff. Maybe 2 packs of chaff, 3 packs next round. Put it this way, we're not expecting to win this. I think our chances are 30%, 20%. He basically has the perfect pack against us. Kind of feels like we need to go Vulcans, though. Just skip here. Start with 2 Phoenix, of course. All right. No chaff, interestingly. I think what we want to do is go for some Vulcans with Scorch so we can take out his sledges. That being said, like, you just need a factory. The factory will do just as good. So I'm kind of torn between the Vulcan and the factory. Maybe we'll have time to do both. Okay. I don't like that the tanks have leveled up. That's horrible. We might need a Typhoon because he's going to go Wasp production on his boats. I think we have to go for like at least 2 chaff here. Like, for surely we need something in front. Let's go for another Phoenix, just because we're waiting for the boat. No GC missile opportunity. Okay. Maybe the Typhoon need to be a little bit further back since it's mainly for the Wasp. We don't want it to get stuck on the sledges, as it might die to it. Actually goes for the Saber. That's interesting. I wonder if he's just going to put it here for the Typhoon. That would be pretty smart. It's too early to go for the factory. It's only round 3. Yeah, it's a pretty nice placement. Actually builds the chaff as expected. Could actually build a couple. Could actually build a couple of the wasps ourselves. It's not horrible. Okay, we clean up the wasps, but there's gonna be more next round. At least we get experience from this, so we can level up the Phoenix. We know there's gonna be boats. Okay, so we get this. Ion Blast. We're gonna play for. We have to play for the long game. We have to play for the economy here, so we can't go for it. Yeah, let's think about this. So we need some wasps, I think. You'd imagine he might go Mustangs behind, but it's gonna be boats. I just don't know if he goes Mustangs as well. Wasps surely are good, as are just more chaff. There's no point in going for the Vulcan, I think, quite yet. I think Wasp chaff makes sense. You just go for another crawler. Leveling up the sledges will be quite powerful. I hope he doesn't do it. We don't want him to level up the wasp as well, but for sure that's a good move. Okay, 2 overloads immediately. So now the wasps are arguably not that good. Although you can make an argument for 2. Did he have to borrow for that? How's he getting so much money? Okay. Now we have a timer. I don't like how these typhoons are so far up. They're gonna get killed pretty quick. Hopefully they can kill the wasp before that happens, and at least they do that. So I'm pretty happy about that. These are our own wasps. But some of our stuff is stuck here. We're doing quite good here, but it's the first round. He's never gonna win the first round that he brings out the boats. It's always gonna be a huge loss. So this is normal. Doesn't mean that we're gonna win the game. Haste module. I don't know if we go for a haste module on this. It might be too... Might be okay. It might be okay to go for one on this. I don't know. Maybe we just click range. Alright, so we're gonna continue playing without the factory, just because it's kind of expensive for the factory. I mean, 1,000, you can only go for a level 1 factory. It's not gonna tank enough, in my opinion. What do we need here? I don't know what we need. Like, we need a wasp? I don't think so. Maybe we just need more Phoenix, right? And chaff. We go for another wasp chaff. Is there, do we just oil this? Just so that his units are kind of stuck. A little bit behind his boats. The boats kind of move forward a little bit more than his ground units. Okay. No technologies on the Overlord, on the Wasp. Not sure if it makes sense to do anything. We just go for more elite recruit typhoons next. It's looking kind of promising. But I'm telling you, it's not over. And this is just the worst feeling. Because you think you're doing good, but man, it's just not good enough. It's never good enough. Missile Strike is probably good. It's really good for him. You could probably try to beacon out, but that's fine. I'm wondering if Typhoons is what we need. Well, at least click AA on this. Or do we just go in for a factory kill? Let's just think about this for a second. We'll missile this for sure. Can we afford some kind of factory play here? Sell out of this maybe? Level 1 factory though? No, we can get level 2. But it's going to be pretty much a useless level 2. So might as well just get a level 1 factory. Just beacon it in, but it's going to die too quick. So we're not going to do that. Just going to continue with maybe some more phoenixes, I think. Go for aerial spec. Get another wasp, put it here. And not sure what to do here. Went for the melting point because of the factory, I think. But that might be his that might not be good for him. I don't know what wins now. We've locked onto one of the boats here. We're doing quite good. I'm thinking we win, but I don't know if this guy dies. At least he didn't click shield. I think we win here. I think that I think that melter was for the factory. I think that and we almost went for it. We'll ask him. Yeah, I think that was for the factory. I mean, you can't look at this and say that he played it wrong. Because if we went for the factory, like, but then again, does he need it for the because the overlords kind of kill the factory, but then the problem is the factory gets to the tower, it gets a debuff. But usually I was gonna put the factory like I was gonna probably put it in the corner and beacon it in sideways. Or like maybe from here. I don't know if I'd put it in the middle just because I'm not confident that the factory can tank 3 with 3 of the boats. Even if it was a level 2 armor, which we didn't have money for. But I would like to see it from his perspective if he's able to win without that factory play. But for us, I don't know. Like we just kind of like some buttons there. Just get more Phoenix, more Wasp. Do the Wasps actually do anything? Like, do we even have chaff clear? Like, do you just need to click shield on the Wasp and then just win? And why did he not level up the sledges? Surely the sledges were like, would be pretty good for a strat. All right, so gotta take a look at that from the opponent's perspective. So I think that he might have miscalculated the amount of money we had. And isn't a missile here better? Okay, I'll go with him. I mean, this is fairly juicy missile. All right, so click shield on this. Go for some more boats. He had to unlock the melter too, which is crazy. I think he just, just fell too far behind. Now, can we go for some kind of like wasp production here? 450. There's nothing we can sell that's 450 here. That's the problem. Maybe we sell this, but still, there's nothing to sell. So do we even take the missile? The missile's only 50. Surely it's worth it, right? So okay, we can't take that. Now we have to go for another tech. Say we go for wasp production. And do we just go for another wasp behind here? Or I think we have to go for the range, actually. We have to go for range and maybe one chaff. That makes sense. Maybe a chaff here would be super effective just to pull his units a little bit, like, something here. It does make his does make his crawler survive, so we could have probably put it here instead. This is obviously super effective. Good thing we went for this Typhoon. We knew he was going to go for something with wasp production. Yeah, maybe we needed to do that over here. Because now we're stuck on the chaff. And overlords are going to get pretty much one shot. But what's going on here? Making it to the tower. So I don't like the way we played that. I think the crawler flank could have been on the other side. The missile's fine. Right, so we'll go for the shield and okay, can we sell something and go for a flank? I mean, are these dogs doing anything? I doubt it. So maybe we sell out of this even. And let's go for a flank here. Maybe the 300 on the... Okay, so we forgot the wasp production there. Maybe the 300 on this isn't worth it. Oops. So just one more boat in exchange for the wasp production, which might be fine. Okay, for 100, do we just go for defense or attack? Or do we level this up? We just throw down some missiles, maybe? Probably. We were so close to going to go for that for that factory there. You could see the factory popping in and out as we weren't sure about what to do. Pretty crappy missile, but still, a missile's a missile. The late chaff here is not good in certain ways, but Maybe with the problem is the A wasps. Maybe the A wasps are it's not good because maybe we just sell the this guy. To me, the wasp production isn't actually doing that much. Maybe we just have to go more into to these guys. So we just go 6 boats. With range, and I don't know if we can still beacon this, but let's give it a try. Six boats with overload. Yeah, that could kill pretty much anything. Thing is that the opponent doesn't have really much shaft clear. We have air chat. The boats do clear the air shaft quite well. It's only one boat is close to dying here. Now, unfortunately, the boats are getting targeted. So the problem is the chaff clear, really. I don't know how he solves that. Maybe just go like double tech. Maybe goes like So I wonder, like, I think this is still good to missile. Like, is there ever like a aerial spec, like a range kind of thing? Is there ever a move where you do that and go into wasp production? Maybe you sell out of this and just reposition because the missile is going to come there. And it feels bad to invest so much into this. It's basically like, it is killing all the wasps though, real quick. So we're doing quite good in terms of the air. And maybe the wasp actually clear the chaff. Yeah, the wasps do clear the chaff here. So this is the correct play, I think. I wonder if aerial spec wasp is enough. But I mean, he loses to the factory if he does this. I think because now he only has wasps. But what if we go aerial spec only, just because we want to be cheap? Let's click production. And we can even go for another production. I don't know if it's better to just have this though. I don't know. Let's try this. So this is basically 25 wasps, which is, I guess, is 2 packs. And we're fighting 3 packs. Looks like we might be winning this side. Kind of looks like it. Okay, so it does look like the range and AA is required to win this. So from our perspective, or just go more wasps, right? Let's try that one more time. Just to confirm that we need both techs if we're playing as the opponent. So sell. Okay, so no range here. I don't know if you want speed. Speed might be bad, so maybe just a missile on this side. It's gonna be a pretty juicy missile, I think. Yeah, this wins as well, I think, but it's not. It doesn't look like it's as good. I'm not even sure if we win actually. It's very close. It's actually a loss. So okay, those two techs are super important on the Wasp. Okay, let's take a look from our perspective. We have to give him credit. Like if this actually works, his melter actually works, we have to give him a lot of credit. He went like above and beyond what is expected in terms of the 40 chess to be able to make a move like that is ridiculously advanced. So we'd be very impressed with him. So I guess we just go for a naked, like a naked, and we'll just put it here just so the melter kind of can lock it. And we'll go for a beacon, I think. So what we would do is, well, I mean, I don't know if you put it here. Let's just say we put it here because we don't want to we don't want to just give us throw the factory into the melter for free like that. I mean, this is already like quite a quick lock. And to be fair, the last time we played with the same opponent, we pretty much did this. We just threw a melter. Maybe not the last time we played, but one of the last times. It was just a melter on the line, and then we were able to win. So he's just going based on what we did before, which is completely reasonable. Let's just see if the line actually works or not. It does look like it is. It doesn't look like it doesn't look that amazing. Well, still wins though. All right, let's see if we go for a more conservative factory. Like maybe we don't need level 2 there. Level 1 factory is probably more than enough. And the way I was gonna play it on the corner. So probably want overload just so we can get to the tower. This is going to be a tower snipe factory. And I don't know if we want missiles here. Probably. Maybe a crawler. I don't know. Maybe more missiles actually. So these missiles are going to be quite helpful at clearing some of his chaff, I think. Yeah. So this is amazing. The way we position this is pretty amazing. It actually doesn't get to the you know. So this is pretty much best case scenario for us, and I think we're gonna win this here. Yeah. So even his melter, the melter, while it was good if we put the factory in the middle, if we put it in the corner, it wouldn't have been good. I think the positioning of his melter could have been perhaps like around here instead, because you know, if it's here, it might get to the middle. And here with the oil, we're not likely to go in with the melter and through the oil. Plus, there's two overloads here, so I do like the melter. I think it could have been like here or here, but then he needs multiple chaff in front, so it's kind of tricky. He'd have to put it. Thing is, he doesn't have a lot of stuff in front of the tower. It's very tricky for him. The way he played this was specifically to counter the Phantom Rays, which we don't build Phantom Rays anymore if we're playing against a player who is trying to exploit us for that. So it's surprising, first of all, that he continued to do the strategy that we mentioned that he was going to do on round one. He carried out the strategy without deviating. And perhaps that's the first thing, because why would you. Overlords obviously can't be everything, right? They can't be Phoenixes that well. So why would you go mass overload? I mean, maybe if you got more time to set up the overlords, maybe it just beats everything because, you know, it is like the ultimate late game kind of build. The thing is, like, because of this oil, we're not going to put the factory. Because why would we want our own, unless we were going to burn it, which makes a lot of sense. Maybe he was predicting that we were going to burn, which is kind of crazy. I mean, but then we have 4 chaff. He has, I mean, he builds a few more chaff, but maybe that was the idea. Like, we click burn, but then you don't have money for the factory. So I'm trying to understand the logic from the opponent. So yeah, you can burn it, but then we have 150 left, so it's or 250 left. 150 if you want the beacon. You could just go for a naked factory, but then why would we ever go level 1 no armor factory in the middle into 3 overloads? The only option is really here or here. Like, I like this option even better. Like, this is probably what we would have done if push came to shove. Maybe you just go overload here. Go for the beacon. It's either 1 chaff or 3 missiles. I mean, this is a very nice angle, to be fair, right? So we could do this, and we could put like 1 chaff here. So maybe from this angle, he actually still wins. I still think the melting point, though, if it was here, it might have been a little bit better. Because then he covers here, he covers here. In the middle spot, he doesn't cover the factory coming in from the corner. It looks like we still might win this, which is kind of surprising. All right, last thing we're going to test is it better to go with the crawler or just like missiles? It's kind of feel like that, I mean, and then in that case, wouldn't you missile here? Wouldn't you missile here? I think we still missile here just because it's a juicy target, but we are taking a risk that he might want to sell. All right, so let's say we go for overload. We're basically counting that there's not a factory here. Get the lock. Crawler is kind of blocking us here. So yeah, it didn't do that much. The missiles didn't do that much. Kind of surprised that they were able to win here. On this side, I don't know if all of a sudden we don't win now, but nothing better than watching the boats pop. They've always been our greatest nightmare.
And it's good that we're finally like starting to, be able to beat these boats. But okay, so yeah, that was a very interesting game against a very high level legend. It's amazing that we were able to win this, but I think our reputation precedes ourselves, and because that we've been going factories a lot, forced him to build a melting point, which might have been the worst possible thing, into just more Phoenix. Although, I question if aerial spec was correct. Like, is electromag better? Is there's a lot of questions, but I think for just one technology, perhaps the aerial spec is a little bit better because you don't want to invest too much, I think, into this because he doesn't have like he has more boats than he has wasps. So the range only really helps against other wasps. The range doesn't help you against boats because if you just go mass wasp into this, I think you lose. So we're just gonna take a look at how the battle goes if we go for the wasp instead. If we double up on the wasp. So usually these are the carry techs for trying to win the air battle. The only problem is that you're not likely. It's not gonna work against a It's not gonna work against the overlords. The overlords will kill the wasp pretty badly here. Just guess we just go for one more chaff here, and maybe an upgrade here. It is actually very surprising how badly the wasps do into boats, because you would think that the wasps will counter the boats, and maybe they will in limited numbers. Like right now, maybe it actually is working out very well, but seems like once he gets too many of the boats, and he clicks HE, then all of a sudden the wasps die really badly. So we still win here. I think we win more than before. So I guess that goes to show that that is an option, right? Because he doesn't have range. So 115 compared to our we have 135, so we outrange him. So as long as there's chaff, then we're able to take pot shots on him. So maybe that this is better actually. Now that I think about it. But from experience, I know that you cannot beat overlords with wasps. So at a certain point, um, the wasps just become completely useless, which is why I don't really want to upgrade them past the point of just aerial spec, because they're basically just chaff that kind of dies super quick. Like once he gets like double the amount of boats, then it tends to fall off. But I'm surprised that it's pretty effective in the semi-early stages of the boat. But you could see that the Phoenix are still doing pretty respectable damage, like 300. But so are the wasps, interestingly. But the phoenixes, you always get phoenixes though for the overlords. The wasp is just mainly for chaff. Usually he would have mustangs supporting. And imagine if he just got some mustangs, then all of a sudden the wasps die and you lose two technologies worth. So that's the big fear. Like that the wasps are quite vulnerable to mustang and overlord with overload. Basically with these techs, they can get shut out easily. Whereas the Phoenix, as long as the chaff clear is good and you clear his chaff, once the Phoenix locks into overload, it's pretty much good night. They'll pop super quick. Anyways, we were really lucky to win that one.